All right, guys. Episode 30 of Milk Bucket.
What the fuck? I can't tell if he did that on purpose.
He must have done it on purpose.
Episode 20. Welcome back to Milk Bucket.
Welcome back.
We got a very special guest here today. As promised, we did kind of strong arm into this by saying he'll come on without asking.
Yeah.
But he came through. So we got our boy Aaron.
I appreciate it. Happy to be here.
You're here. But before we get there, let's talk about our sponsor, Puppy.
Absolutely.
Go to @Puppy this for amazing phone cases with varying designs. You've got sleek options. You've got biodegradable options. You've got really strong ones if you drop your phone a lot and constantly crack it, like our friend Aaron here. Been through 7 iPhones in
I'm
4
actually
years.
getting one of the puppy cases soon, so I'm very keen about
We're
that.
excited about that.
Yeah.
You've got a variety of beautiful designs. You've got things like nature. You've got air. I think it's airstrip or something that you were going
Yep,
for.
that's the one I'm
cool
getting.
one. We've also got some really exciting things in the works with Puppy, some potential deal coming along soon, so stay keen for that. But make sure you hit our referral code down below to get 10% off your case with @Puppy this. Hit that link, baby. Hit it like you hit the hub after our video that came out yesterday.
There we
ranking
go.
porn stars. If you haven't seen that, make sure to go have it a hit.
Which, by the way, on that, I'm disappointed where you ranked Lisa Ann. I'm just saying, she was a part of my childhood. And now that I'm on the podcast, I can voice my opinion.
Yeah.
Because I keep watching your videos and I want to voice my opinion. So I message a group chat, but now I can actually voice my opinion. You guys are wrong, okay? Lisa Ann
What would you have
was
ranked
my
her as?
childhood. Okay, here's the thing. I have no idea what she does nowadays because I don't watch grandma porn. But
She's probably a deal for this point, isn't
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. But she was my favorite when I was like 14.
Exactly. When
So-
you were 14.
No, but still, like she
Taste
deserved to be
change, you
higher.
know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, when
Things
I was a
make-
kid, I liked fucking dinosaur nuggets.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
but all her, it's not like her
Still like
old
them now, I'm
stuff
not gonna
isn't
lie.
there. It's the nostalgia. I don't know. I
I'm
just
not
don't
gonna lie,
agree.
I
Yeah.
can't believe we put fucking this bitch called Luxury Girl in the top 8 and I've never heard of it before in my life.
Just go.
Do
Who
yourself
is
a
this
favor.
Russian fucking slut on
Bro,
the
do
internet?
yourself a favor. Go on the hub tonight. Luxury Girl. I'm telling you, you will give me a call and be like, we should have put
Do
her
you know
on
what's funny?
fucking
When I was
Brazzers
editing the video, I'm like, could I do with a bit of Luxury Girl today? And I'm like, it just feels a bit weird. Fucking your mate saying like, oh, give it a watch. You'll like it.
What do you guys actually think about people that send like porn videos to each other, to their boys?
I mean, we're pretty close to that, sending fucking hot Instagram pictures to each other on the gram.
That's not close
It
at all.
is
There's
close.
a big line.
Objectively, like you're showing the same thing. They're pretty much naked. To
If
be
you
honest.
think about the workout equivalent, it would be like sending your boys a workout routine versus a warm-up routine. Which is weirder. If you guys sent me, oh, this is a great stretch, I'd be like, what is this
Yeah.
fucking guy gay, bro?
True,
What are you talking to me
I feel like
about?
some people have sent some stretches though.
Are you saying we need to step up our game?
Yeah.
We need to start actually sending people.
Let's start sending hardcore pornography.
Although you did the other day send the Belle Delphine video.
Oh, yeah, I just look-
Oh yeah, but
I do
the one
appreciate
where she was
that.
bouncing on top of the fucking...
I didn't know that was a thing, so I'm glad I have it
we
now.
were just having a chat. He was just looped into it. It was relevant for us too. Just out of the blue for Aaron. All right, let's make an intro for Aaron. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So where does the story begin?
Do you ever wonder where the dick goes when it goes inside? Do you ever see some tiny bitch get piped out by Mandingo and it just like 12 inches disappears
Where
like
did it
when
go?
like they're putting a rabbit into a fucking magician's hat? It's like, what happened, bro? Where did this go?
You know, there's actually a secret portal that it goes through.
Bro, I low-key think there is.
There
I'm not
is.
gonna lie.
It goes through the secret portal via Bluetooth into the root canal and then into the fetus.
Like, I feel like their organs must have like their own sentience and they just move out of the way in times because it looks like it's puncturing their fucking rib cage at that point. You know what I'm
It
saying?
looks violent.
And it's
have you seen those
magical. It looks
videos?
violent, but it's a great show.
Bro, have you seen those videos where the girl is getting like mouth fucked and then you
Yes!
can see it through
No,
her
but they're
throat?
fake, I found. Oh,
what?
Because, yeah, the ones we can actually see it go down the throat, because I've seen my fair share of this this type of video.
Would you like if I
and
haven't?
I've seen the, like,
I haven't.
the very
I'm in a
biggest has,
discretion.
Yeah, it's
dude,
bad.
it has no impact on the throat. Like,
Whoa,
yeah,
yeah,
it's
how do you know
edited when
that?
you can actually
Wait,
see
dude,
it
how
it was
going
like
do
a
you know?
Bezos video or something?
Yeah,
What do you mean?
dude, it's science.
He measured it with his toes throat.
It's pretty magical. A girl without a gag reflex. Never
Yeah.
experienced it personally. But
You haven't experienced it.
No, what do you mean? It's not a common thing not to have a gag reflex.
I've experienced it twice.
I call cap.
I've got a video. No,
That's also cap. We know that's cap. We know you don't have
Yeah,
videos.
Well,
I
if we
don't
make
have
a
a video.
Patreon one day, will you post the video
Oh, wait.
for the viewers?
If I had a Patreon.
If we have a Patreon one day,
If we
will
get a
you post
million
it?
subs. No,
Yo,
that's
what if
illegal, bro. That's
what if we
illegal.
made a fucking one of those tiers that's like $1,000, and if you pay $1,000, you get to see Baz fucking a girl gulping down Baz.
Wouldn't be the first time it's done, by the way. Would not be the first time that some people have done
Porn on the internet? Yeah, you're right. I know. There's a fucking industry.
Pornos for subs.
A whole video was about it last week.
Yeah, literally. And there you go. Speaking of the devil, make sure to check out the new video, boys. It's actually done pretty damn well.
It was just a really long promo for the video. Yeah.
Make sure to check out the new videos. It's ranking porn stars in a tier list.
I still listen back to that Mia Khalifa joke, and I still am so proud of myself for thinking about it on the spot. You know, sometimes you come to things with like pre-joke, like you're like, I know where we can go here. You know what I mean? And the fact that I just came, I was like, oh, bro, that's a nice one. I like that.
Right one. Yeah, I actually had a thought, boys. So you know how the workforce these days, they're like really promoting equality. Like they're making sure that the workforce is going to be as equal as 50-50 women and men, trying to get the most amount of indigenous people and trying to get the most amount of people, like people of color, all that. Imagine if they forced you.
It's like, imagine if we just went back to the good old days. White men only.
Here's another thought that I just literally thought of right now. And so if your girlfriend used to make porn, but nobody viewed it.
So just like sex tape.
Yeah, but it's a sex tape on Pornhub. It's on Pornhub.
Yeah. It means she's not hot. Yeah. No one finds it hot.
It's on Pornhub, but it's got like 100 views.
Like imagine the chick who says, fuck it, I'll make an OnlyFans and then makes $2 a fortnight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What do you do then?
Break up with her. If she was making 20 racks a month, it's like, yo, you go, bitch.
Yeah,
do you want me to hold the camera? Like, I don't know.
What do you actually fucking do? Imagine if
realistically, nothing. Like,
it's one thing if we make a TikTok and it flops. It's a whole other thing.
Oh my God, that's so fucking funny. That concept that like, you know, we've also, for people who don't know, flops. Aaron is also, hey, I'm Aaron.
Yeah, he's got a YouTube channel.
He's made a few videos that have popped up. I rarely upload.
Yeah. Come subscribe. We'll chuck his links down below.
He does very unsimilar content to us.
Yes, very unsimilar. Who knows what kind of content will be in there in the future?
Who knows?
I'm very bipolar.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, so we've all had experience kind of creating content before, and there's that grind at the start when no one's viewing your videos, and you know you're just trying to build your way up. I never realized that was what it was like with porn.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I never thought about that either. True,
bro. That's fucked.
But I think the hardest thing would be the angle work. Because you got to be like
the director.
Like you're having sex and then you're filming like a really good angle while doing it. Unless you have a tripod. And
to be honest, I don't like POV porn.
Yeah, neither. Like so then you got a tripod that you have to constantly check if the angle is good.
Yeah, but I'd rather one view on a tripod than constant like POV work. It just doesn't look good.
The thing is, you need multiple angles. You need multiple angles. And you need
but what's better? Multiple angles doing POV where it's fucking shit the whole time, or like one.
I'm a fan of POV.
One good angle.
I don't mind it.
Are you actually?
Yeah, I don't mind it. I don't like it when you can see from the tripod camera, the guy holding the fat fucking video camera.
That's pretty rare. That's very rare.
Like, is your dad recording you in the 80s? Like that, I'm not a fan of that. But I'm a fan, like, when you just watch it and you can just see the girl, like if there's a guy getting a blowjob and you can just see the girl giving head.
Oh, that's all right.
Yeah,
but I feel like that's POV is like meant to be from the perspective, whereas that just seems like a guy holding a camera.
Yeah.
You know who does have a bone to pick? Speaking of porn categories. So two of us here are quite fond of hentai. You know, we watch on a daily basis. So me and James, we love it.
Oi.
Watch it every day.
Stop that.
Okay, we watch it twice a day. But one of us here happens to be named Aaron.
Who the hell is named Aaron here? I have no idea. What are you talking about?
So what is it that you have against Asians?
What, all right. Okay. We should clear something up. My two probably most viewed categories. I don't actually know. They're going down a path I don't want to go down here. But Asian, I am very fond of Asians.
Aaron's about to say, blacks? Asians? Woo, I love them.
I didn't say anything, all right? But both of you know I have a type. No. Both of you,
lives matter.
All right. Both of you know I've got a very specific type. Actually, it's not very specific. I've got a type.
Non-ethnic.
Wait, really? I thought you had an ethnic type.
No, he likes beach babes and LGs.
Oh, okay.
Dude, like, how long have we known each other? I can't tell if you're trying to get a reaction out of me.
Because it's fitty-fitty.
Fitty-fitty?
It's fitty-fitty in terms of the accents.
Yeah, like I like the half Asians.
Oh.
Yeah. Fitty-50.
Okay. Is that racist?
No, because it's multi-race.
Is it racist if you ask someone what percentage they are?
Ask me. What
percentage are you?
1/16th, so it's not racist.
It was 1/8.
No, that's my mum.
Bro, at what point are you black? Or any race? So you're Arabic, obviously.
I think the real question,
Arabic, am I Arab?
I can read between the lines. The real question is, when are you allowed to say the N-word?
Well, no.
That's a question. That is a question that we're not allowed to discuss.
Since you asked,
yeah, Baz, what's your answer there?
Huh?
When are we allowed?
According to Basil, if you're Arabic.
What?
If you're tanned enough.
It doesn't say. No. That's not true. That's cat. that's Kizzle.
Oh my god.
No. Okay, but what I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, in life, you have people that pretend to be something they're not, and you need to have a fine distinction of when you can say.
At the end of the day, did the worm go into the apple?
Oh, not this year. The sunset rises and the sun sets.
The real question here is, why do you hate hentai?
So I don't hate. Hate's a strong word, which is probably appropriate in this instance.
Well, your exact words was, it's disgusting.
Yeah, so we were in a heated debate at the time, and I may have said that, and then
Bas and
immediately...
I was saying Black Lives Matter, Aaron was saying, dude, what are you talking about?
Okay, all right. That never happened. The conversation was, they were talking about how much they love hentai and how it's the best in the world.
Chill.
Tentacles are fucking hot and as fuck. They're better than supermodels. I'd rather wank to hentai than have Mia Khalifa in my room. But I said...
Whoa.
Yeah, I didn't. Isn't that what you said?
No, what? I'd rather
Oh,
have a
well,
hentai
I don't recall
character
ever
than-
saying hentai was disgusting, so we're even there.
Okay, but
You definitely do.
here's this might sound irrelevant for now, but just bear with it. If you're with your girl, are you a fan of tickling?
Yeah, sure.
How many times would you, like 5, 10 times? Like, what would you? How many times?
Like
would you
in my
tickle?
life?
No. In a session.
Before it leads to something? Or?
Yeah, sure, but 10.
Dude, I'm getting the first opportunity I can.
Okay, but how many tickles? 10. 5?
How do you distinguich between what's a
Don't
tickle?
think about it too much.
I'm
It's
so
roughly,
confused where this is going.
I'm just imagining Mr. Tickle from the Mr. Men books. You know what I mean? Jesus Christ, what's happening right
I'm
here?
just saying, like, you don't want to tickle too many times because then it's like, oh, it's no longer sexy.
Sure, 3.
3 tickles.
I'm
1,
so
2, 3?
confused where this is going.
No,
Like,
just estimate it.
I did
You're
3.
looking for an answer.
Like, what is a tickle?
What?
I don't know.
So typically, like when I'm doing
The second take got a lot more weird.
Yeah.
no, I'm just saying that the average is around 10. I'd say like 10 is probably
Average.
Yeah, because you wouldn't do 25, 30.
Basil's trying to say, look, 10 hentais, I can't. Easy.
No, I'm just saying that.
10 tentacles,
I'm just
I can't.
asking if that's something that you would do. I'm not.
Yeah,
saying,
yeah, I would tickle. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, around 10
Yeah.
times or
Sure.
yeah, 10 tickles.
Oh, damn.
That's the best corny joke Basil
Oh
ever said.
my god, well played, Baz. Well played.
How suspicious.
How suspicious? What?
Man says he
How
doesn't
convenient.
like tentacles, but he is a fan of 10 tickles.
Oh, well played. You got me,
Man
boys.
played himself, bro.
You got me.
But on a serious note, Aaron,
Yeah.
why do Asian bitches froth so hard for you to the point where their underwear is soaked the second you walk
Should we
into
say the Thailand story or are we not allowed?
Which Thailand story? Dude, you weren't there in Phuket. Okay. There was this
Oh, yeah?
receptionist. I'm not sure if you remember. Dude, I swear she was in love. The receptionist in the hotel in Phuket. Do you remember her?
Oh, yeah, I do actually. Yeah.
Dude, the eyes she gave me, I
I-
swear.
Was it the
went in.
first
Oh
one?
yeah, you came and then you left. Yeah.
To
You
give
were.
context, we get to a Bangkok fucking share house. Not share house, what's it called? Hostel.
Yeah, that's the
We
story I
walk
was going
in,
to say.
we're literally checking, we got all our bags, you know what I mean? We've just been on a fucking flight. Basil's been up, touching ladyboys or whatever he says he was.
No.
He said he wasn't. Let's be real. We all know Baz by
cat.
this point.
That's cat.
Yeah, all right. Sure thing. You were fucking cupping her balls,
That's
that's for sure. But anyway, we walk in and it wouldn't have been 5 seconds before some Asian bitch walks up. Not Asian bitch, an Asian lady.
An Asian
Walks
girl.
up,
Very respectable lady.
Goes
And
up
I
to
should
him and
say-
says,
should
"Hey,
say,
excuse me, Aaron."
She
She
didn't
walks
know
up
my
to
name. She didn't say,
6'3"
"Excuse me, Aaron."
excuse me. Hey, would you mind if I kissed you?
Yeah, it was an interesting experience walking into the hostel. It was a
Immediately.
great start to Thailand.
Immediately.
Yeah, me and James look at each other like, what the
What the fuck is
fuck?
going on right now?
And I'm like, I know I've known you for like 10 years now, but has that happened before? Just to clarify.
Not in Australia.
every
it's
time I
not a
go to
regular
Chinatown, what are you
occurrence.
talking about? Isn't that what happens? You walk into a Korean restaurant, Korean barbecue, they say, oh yeah, come back, meet my mother, you know what I mean? Meet my father. I know you want family now.
Thailand's great, boys. Let's go back.
That was a
Oh,
good
it was so
fucking
much fun.
experience. Yeah, I think it'd be nice, but I think that we were there for the right amount of time.
Yeah, I want to go full moon again though. That was unbelievable.
Absolutely.
I would fly into fucking Copenhagen from another Asian country just to go full.
Yeah, flying. We're not doing that fucking bus trip again.
Although I'm not gonna lie, it might not live up to our expectations because we were there on New Year's Eve.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
like,
but
I get that.
from what I've seen, it's no
the same,
different
yeah.
every
Yeah.
every
I was
other
about to say,
month.
I get that,
Yeah.
but it's like that every time.
No, but, like,
even not on the full moon parties, on the half moon parties, all of those.
But I'm talking about our hype because you think about it. We were indoors, right? I was sick the day before. I had fucking
Yeah, that was
crippling
unfortunate.
tonsillitis. Then I
Oh,
managed
true.
to, they pump me with drugs in fucking Thailand. I'm fine for the next day, right? We're in the fucking in the room pre-gaming with all these these fucking amazing American guys. Shout out to fucking Jacob and Hamish.
Yeah.
And
Fucking awesome.
Who was the fucking little guy who kept dying?
Brandon.
Brian.
Yeah.
ended up coming to
Brandon.
Australia.
Brandon. Yeah,
it
think
Brian?
more of an American name.
Brandon.
Yeah.
Brian was your Filipino friend.
Oh, he was there at the time.
Shout out to Brian if you're listening.
Brian,
But yeah,
legend.
we were just getting shit-faced in there. It was so much fun. It was such an enjoyable experience because it was like all these different peoples of varying ages just coming together and having a laugh. Then we go outside, torrential rain.
Yeah.
To the point where you're like,
You should have sent it.
yeah, well, that's the thing. We all kind of get, I got separated for a second, but we all meet back and it's kind of torrential rain in the thing. I meet up with a few of them and it's kind of like, yo, is it dead? Everyone's inside because for people who don't know, the clubs face out to the beach.
Yeah, exactly.
So everyone's under the covers of the clubs, but slowly people start just going out in this torrential tropical rain.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where all the boys meet up and like some of us have been separated. We're like, yo!
Yeah.
And it was such a bonding experience. It was almost like a test of faith. Like when you do the fucking, you fall backwards and people catch you, that the fucking gods above decided to take away the rain.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you've proved that you're here to fucking party. You're not going to bitch out. You're not going to be like, oh, it's wet.
Well, this is my thing.
And it
So,
was amazing.
It was amazing.
we all looked at each other. We were all standing there under the covers, like watching the rain, watching the good memories, just like leaving the potential of the rest of the night. We're just like, fuck. And then we're all thinking like, when we're here, we've all traveled from all across the world, tens of hours on the plane to come here and have a good time.
That Mashton Kutcher song comes on and goes, send it.
Yeah. Like, are we literally going to sit here under the covers and fucking just be a pussies? Or are we going to just go party in the rain?
And it was the most amazing, like the thing that was so good about it was the people who were out there were just on a different wavelength from everyone inside because they were just like, yo, we're here for this. It doesn't matter what the fuck's going to happen.
Sure.
Nothing's going to get in the way. And then, like I said, it's almost as if there was a fucking higher power who said, you passed the test and the rains were gone.
Yeah.
And I literally think like 10 seconds later, the sand wasn't fucking wet anymore.
Bro,
Yeah, dude, true.
You know what I mean? They were fucking lighting fires, skipping ropes. I jumped on there. I burnt my foot. It was
Oh,
an
memes.
experience.
Yeah,
Just
sorry
a
about
little
that.
bit. Yeah, a little bit. It's
Oh,
faded,
shit.
but yeah.
Dude, I still
Free tattoo.
remember. Bro, I trusted my phone with a guy that I met 3 hours earlier.
Oh,
I
yeah,
put my
yeah.
phone in his like waterproof
I
case.
forgot about that,
Yeah,
dude.
I
I've
did
got
not-
so many
I had full trust in him.
Bro,
And then I
memories
just-
gone from that night.
I can't believe this happened. I'm going in the fire skipping rope. Aaron's already been. Baz is pussy. He doesn't do it. Oh, safety. But
I did jump in it a few times.
No, you
did
didn't.
not jump in
You
the
did
fire
not
skipping
jump in
rope.
at
You
once.
jumped
Don't
into the
don't
ring,
act tough in front
Bro,
of the
I did
milk
do it.
bucket.
No,
I'm
you
not doing it in
didn't,
front of the
bro.
milk bucket. I did it.
No, you didn't.
You
bro.
did not do it.
You did not do it. This is such cat. This is like Basil saying he dunked.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I made a risk assessment in my mind.
And he said, no.
It didn't pass the risk
Anyway,
assessment.
Baz is filming me. I'm getting hyped up. I'm like, fuck. Am I too drunk for this? I've been drinking all day and getting up to this moment. Is this a dumb idea? I go in. There's a video because Baz is filming me. I go in. I start jumping. I get the second jump. The third skipping rope comes. It cuts. Then the next video is when it like catches, someone else jumped in, it catches my ankle and it all fucking goes. But it's weird because I didn't get the full fucking jump and I'm like,
Oh, really?
how
Yeah.
did it manage to film, cut out the important part and then keep filming?
Yeah, I was so lucky.
It's like Basil's like, nope. There we go.
Because Basil filmed twice for me because I did it twice.
Yeah.
Or 3 times if we
Aaron
include
got
the
the
one
best fucking video of all time.
Yeah.
With like, there was these 2 cute Brazilian chicks and he was like, I'll only do it if you give me a kiss on the cheek, and they both kiss him on the cheek.
See,
Then he
this is
runs
the thing. Did you say that? I've got a terrible memory, but I feel like I was involved in it. But
You
I'm
were
not sure if I was.
definitely
You were
involved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I cannot remember it very well.
Because you know how your mind can change memories, and then you talk to people, and then it turns out like none of what you
No,
thought
you were
happened?
involved. You were saying like, oh yeah, you should do it.
Yeah.
You might have even brought up the idea of you need to give him a kiss for good luck, and then Aaron's like, yeah, you can give him
that could have definitely happened.
My memory is completely blurred there. What was my involvement in that video? Which I'll just paint the picture of the video. So Aaron's there. There's fire rope skipping, and then 2 very hot chicks, like a solid 8.5, 9. I'm like, okay, if both of you guys, okay, then you tell the story. So there's 2 hot chicks, fire rope.
I think you may have instigated it. My memory is very, very hazy here.
I remember what happened.
Okay,
I was already going to jump in. Oh, I think it was before
He was
my
already
first
going
attempt.
to, but we're like, we may as well.
Yeah, I
pretend
was
that he's
going
not.
to because this was
Yeah.
a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Where else are you going to be able to jump on a fire
next
rope
day.
made of a skipping rope made of
Everyone
fire?
else was
Yeah. but still, these 2 chicks were there, which is unprecedented.
Yeah.
2 fit chicks, like
Well, you don't know if it's going to happen again.
yeah, exactly. That's what I mean.
Live in
Yeah,
the
so
moment.
I think I was considering doing it. We just saw 2 Italian, like 15-year-olds or 18-year-olds, I don't know, the same thing, jump and do like tricks. And then we were all impressed.
Yeah,
and
they
they
were
were like,
doing
oh my
tricks.
God, wow. Yeah, I think they were like doing spins and stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then...
So James, what was the
yeah,
exact story?
you
Do
lead it
remember?
because I'm
So you
very
guys were
hazy.
talking, and the way I remember it is, as Basil said, the kind of like, oh yeah, you should do this. Like, oh yeah, you should give him like a kiss for good luck or something.
But we
like
would
that.
have been talking to them beforehand.
Yeah,
we were.
Oh, I was already talking to them.
It wasn't just you. You were both talking to them.
Oh, okay.
That was the funny thing. I thought that because I was with you guys, because the other guys got separated for a second. And I was with you two guys. You two started talking to them. And I'm like, oh, they're both trying to shoot. So I'm like, all right, fucking just try to talk to random people.
Hey, random Thai person.
But yeah, I think it turned into that. You said you were going to do it. They were too scared.
Yeah.
And then you said something like, oh yeah, you should give him like a kiss for good luck or something like that. And then and it was
ultimate
so funny.
wingman.
The picture, yeah, legit. The video was like 2 seconds of it. But like it cut out the 15 minutes of like, no, like
okay, this is my broken memory.
Instagram. Did you post a story?
So it was a story, and I have it as an actual post by itself, but the post doesn't have them kissing me. Because, I cut out the kissing part. Because the point of the post wasn't to be like, these two fit chicks kiss me. It was because I jumped on... Dude, it's way cooler. It's way cooler to jump on a skipping rope made of fire than to have two chicks kiss you on the cheek.
You know what's way cooler
they're not...
Have two chicks kissing you.
Yeah.
The full video.
Yeah,
that's like saying, it's way cooler fucking chicks. Like, yeah, it's also good if you're fucking a chick and a best friend walks in and also joins
okay, so that part's of my story. But the thing is, if you start dating someone in the future and they're weird about it, I don't want to have to be that guy who either
you have to remove
it or be like, no, bitch, I'm keeping it.
That's called forward thinking.
Tell them to stop being
strategies.
insecure little girls.
Yeah, I mean, dude, it's still my story, so they just have to go through all my highlights, from back in time.
Actually, I'm going to change the topic here. So, we were just talking about something very, very not serious.
Yeah.
Something that Aaron's actually an expert at.
Oh God, here we go.
He knows everything about this, so we can ask him any question. Is crypto.
Oh no!
So now,
he's an expert.
Yeah, he's an expert.
Boys,
he knows
I'm not.
everything. So we'll lay the scene in case people are watching this in the future.
He's got a fantastic video on tokenization, so make sure you check that out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Aaron.
Yeah, we'll put his link for his YouTube in the description.
Yeah,
but
Aaron's like blushing like a motherfucker right now. He's like, it feels uncomfortable.
I'll give some context for exactly where we are in the crypto world. So. Crypto about 3 or 4 weeks ago, actually maybe a full month ago, was worth around $67,000. Like about a
month, bro. It was like 2.
It was worth like 60K at its peak.
Wasn't it 67 US?
Oh God, you know more than me, bro. You're the
hit
crypto
the 2021 high relatively recently. So if you're watching this in a year from now, it's relatively recent. Now it's sitting at around 30. It recovered from around 27. So it's sitting in a decent range.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on the future?
Long term, I think it's going to go quite high. But again, we can't see the future.
What is quite high? Is that $1 million plus?
So, I think this year,
would that be,
probably next year,
be
it's not
the
going
moon?
Dude, it's going to the moon.
It's already gone to the moon.
Get your bags. We're going to the moon. What kind of Lambo are you guys getting? What color?
Blue.
I'm going yellow.
If you're going to get a Lambo, it better stand out.
Dude, yellow stands out.
Yellows are normal. No,
exactly. That's why it stands out.
Issue.
It's standard, and people can spotto you every time you go to the
exactly.
car. People who don't know, Spotto is a game in Australia where if you see a yellow car, you get to punch your friend.
Yeah, getting a yellow Lambo is like having a VB in a Bogan bar. You just look like
we're literally drinking VBs right now.
Yeah, I know. That's a different point.
I think
what's your dollar estimate? What kind of?
Okay, so I don't like dollar predictions, but I can definitely see. I'll judge movements in price. So I think this year it's definitely not going to go to all-time high. Probably not next year either. The year after that, I can definitely see it going up purely because I've been in the market since 2017 or something. I've seen
before the first crash, though.
Yeah, exactly. Before the crash. So I've seen how long these crashes take to recover and how high they can go post that. So I don't know. I can definitely see it going.
Do you think Elon Musk is going to start another global pandemic to make it go up again?
To be honest, I think Elon Musk's credibility has gone down dramatically since all his tweets.
Absolutely.
Especially with like his tweets don't move the price that much anymore.
Do you think Elon Musk should be done for manipulating markets?
It's tricky because I'm an Elon fanboy, but I guess like when he's making me lose money, I'm not such a fan.
But the question is like, what is the difference besides of his like celebrity?
Yeah.
What is the difference between him and every other bull, like mega bull going on a fucking thing?
I think
that's the thing.
They're all trying.
That's my side. He's just a guy.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he's just a guy. Elon Musk has a wank. He does what we do.
I don't know if he does.
Yeah, he doesn't need to, bro. He would have built some robot.
Like milked or something, like some robotic shit.
Yeah.
Have you watched The Dictator? This is that scene where they're milking the girls.
I understand that. I understand crypto is going to be used for many things.
Not Bitcoin
in the future. Yeah, but maybe. but look, if it stabilizes, maybe it will be a story.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah.
Ethereum, obviously, people are using that in like smart contracts and shit like that. But my thought with NFTs,
yes,
right? Because NFTs, they started off. It seemed like, let's be real, a fucking racket at the peak of the bull, like. Yeah, at least in the, not tokenization as a whole, but at least in the sense of like, oh, I made a fucking GIF and this is the original one because I said it was.
Yeah.
When it obviously wasn't.
Yeah.
My question is, and I'm sure maybe people are leaning towards this, but I haven't seen anyone specifically say this. Because you can NFT things like jokes.
Yeah.
You can NFT anything.
Exactly. What if you started selling the NFT of like a particular joke or a soundtrack, or like you know in Star Wars?
Should we say what an NFT exactly is? In case
Non-fungible token.
What does that mean, Aaron?
It means that it is identical. Oh, sorry, it's not identical. So it can't be split up in like money. So you've got, think about a dollar coin in Australia or a dollar note in America. So they're all the same.
Yep.
So a non-fungible token is a digital coin that is pretty much, it can't be duplicated. So it's not a coin, I guess you could say. It's its own specific thing. It's like a patent.
Yeah. So you could have an NFT of the first ever Air Force One shoe.
Yeah.
And then that one, like although anyone can get an Air Force One, you have an original token that says that you have the original sort of, is it the IP behind it, or what is it behind it?
It's kind of IP.
Yeah, it works as IP. Yeah, for sure.
But I think the issue with shit like that is it kind of gets to the point where like, who gives a fuck?
Exactly.
See it.
Yeah.
But I was thinking about this on the way here. What if you had like, okay, you guys know in Star Wars movies and in action movies in general, whenever the plane crashes into something,
it's always that one scream.
It's always like,
yeah. I knew exactly what you're talking about.
What if you could NFT that? You sell, you split it up into 100 ways or whatever. People buy it, and then every time that's used, because someone has to get paid for that to be used, you split a profit of that.
That would be crazy.
So I mean, it's more or less the same as what it has right now. It's just I guess an easier way to own the rights to something that anyone could own. Because right now, I guess a label or something owns that.
Yeah, but I think I mean more like at the moment people are using it in like digital artwork, which is fine and shit, and like good for artists for like finding ways to make money. But if you think about it being an actual financial instrument, that's for just art. It seems a bit like I can get the same JPEG as you've got right there.
So it got unbelievable hype, and you can compare it to the first round, the tech bubble, where everything was blowing up immediately, no matter what it was. It could be a piece of shit. Like there were NFTs that were going for unreasonable prices, just purely because they were NFTs. Same with tech stocks in 2000s. You just got to get through the first few waves of dog shit, and then good things will come.
Here's my question. Okay, I want to move it back to Bitcoin. What are the real, maybe not Bitcoin, but what are the real uses of crypto aside from drug dealing?
Aside from drug dealing.
Yeah, because we all know like terrorist financing, drug dealing, anything that's like
any sort of undercover use. What else could you use
cryptocurrency in itself has a strong connotation, I feel, because Ethereum is not a cryptocurrency. It's not used to send.
Ethereum is not a crypto.
It is a crypto, but it's not a cryptocurrency, When you think of cryptocurrency, you think of Bitcoin because you're sending a currency to one another.
Exactly, yeah.
Ethereum is not that. You build on top of Ethereum to create things that are called smart contracts.
Oh, shit.
And then smart contracts can be effectively make it so that you don't need middlemen in like any situation.
That's incredible.
Exactly. So it's saying it's a cryptocurrency kind of leads people the wrong way.
By a middleman, do you mean like a bank? Or
a
financial institution?
The thing is, there's probably always going to be banks.
Like a Venmo or you don't need a middleman to process the
transaction. The thing is, you can relate it to crypto, but you can also relate it to other things. Like I spoke in my YouTube video about...
Is there a fee?
Is there a fee?
Yeah,
yes, there is a fee.
Is there a fee that someone that made Ethereum gets? Like,
it's not the creator of Ethereum. It's the people who run the nodes, from my understanding. But again, I'm not a crypto expert like you guys have claimed.
I was exaggerating a little bit.
Yeah.
I think it is the people who do the mining, which transfer.
Who run the nodes and stuff.
I did like the thing that you brought up. I don't know if you brought it specifically in the video or if we just spoke about it privately, but the idea of owning like a share of a property.
Exactly.
Like
that. That's really interesting.
Yeah. So for people who don't know, you could own a property and you could decide to create an NFT of it, like some tokenization. And then you can actually create NFTs of the individual property. So you could split up one property into 10, and then rather than having to go and leverage yourself in order to...
One property into 10? What does that mean?
Or 10 tokens.
So what it's divided. Think $1 million house. You can own you can put 100K in. You own 1/10 of the house.
Okay. Yep.
Exactly. And so you can get into the property market rather than going to things like REITs or taking on massive leverage in order to own a property. So it's an interesting idea.
And you're not worried about anyone going bankrupt or anyone say you could buy an ETF and then worry about, okay, what if Vanguard or what if iShares goes down?
Exactly. Like Keegan said, REITs.
Vanguard will never go down. How dare you?
Well,
Vanguard is amazing.
You never know. You never know.
Yeah.
John Bogle fucking lives within me, dog.
What's the official finance term for that risk?
Counterparty risk.
Oh yes, counterparty.
I think it's a pretty good one because essentially it allows you to jump into the property market because you can split up a token into how many ways? Is it 100 million?
It's infinite.
Say legally, there's a motorbike outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that.
Fucking diesel again, dog.
You can split up a property into up to 100 million ways to one. Which, I mean, say legally, they might say, okay, maximum 1,000 one.
If a property regulations come out,
if a property costs 1,000, if you could buy 1,000th of a property, that will make it so easy to get into the market.
Exactly.
And are there any fees for you to jump into? Assuming that
this hasn't been created.
Oh, really?
So there will obviously have to be fees to jump into this market because it runs off the Ethereum network or whatever smart contract network it ends up running off of in the future. Who knows where cryptocurrency and blockchain is going to be in the future. Yeah. But you can imagine there would be some sort of fee involved, but nothing relative to owning an actual property. We've got like stamp duty in Australia. You've got constant other fees that you have to pay the bank every year.
That's probably why banks hate it, because it completely removes them out of the equation.
Yeah, I think it's that in regulation.
Yeah.
There's zero regulation right now. So right now, this could theoretically exist. The technology's there. It's just that we don't have the regulation.
You also need... The reality is the government's not going to let you just do it without taking a piece. So you're going to have... They're going to have to...
The government needs to find a way to take a piece.
But it's an exciting frontier. And I guess this brings up my next point about this, which is a bit more philosophical. Like... What do you guys think the true benefit of decentralization actually is?
Great question.
You always hear these people talk about it, but it's like, I, for the most part, trust the government's all right. You know what I mean?
So it's not always the government. That's the problem. Like you think Facebook, they earn fucking so much money and they're constantly selling your data. It's not always centralization in the government.
To counteract what you just said, when so far has that done you anything but give
True,
you ads
they just give me good
see?
ads. It's what I want. They're giving me ads.
Not really. Like sometimes you get the same ads over and over.
That's
and
true.
over
After you buy it. No, I think it's okay until you buy the item and then you continuously get it. And
it's like, oh, you already sold me. You're just
I've already got
wasting
this.
money.
Go away.
No, I understand what you mean, but like, we as a society are moving towards getting everything integrated already. You know what I mean? Like, we're buying things like Google Homes and Chromecast in order to transport our phone onto this thing. Like, we kind of let's be real. We've really fucking adopted whatever makes life easier. I'm going to go with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've done it to such a large extent that does decentralization actually pay like a and what's stopping that the Ethereum network just becoming the next big centralized bank? You know,
Ethereum it can't be centralized.
This is what I'm thinking, because I know that on smart contracts, you can say that I own this smart contract. Yes. Anyone who transacts within it has to pay me a 1% fee.
Yes.
So the government can theoretically say they own all the smart contracts.
You're right. They could.
Yeah, it's illegal to own a smart contract. And as a tax, every time that you transact, every time it changes hand, you got to pay us 10%.
Taxes will probably be done on smart
10%
contracts.
10% goes straight to the government, and there's no way to evade it.
I mean, that's good and bad. Taxes exist for a reason. It just
becomes exactly what we have now. It's the exact, the saying.
Not really, because we can see, we have more transparency in what's happening.
Yeah. Now you
we have no
write
transparency right now. We can't see where our government spending is going, where our taxes are going.
Yeah. Oh.
Through blockchain, you would be able to see that.
Because we just have to wait till the budget comes out, and then they say, okay, we spent how much on this, how much on this, how much.
And they
on
say that. Is it true?
Yeah.
If you're in a country like North Korea or some shit, where's the money actually going?
Are people going to look at the blockchain? Let's be real.
Bro, people heavily scrutinize. Maybe we don't. But big organizations usually have an economist, especially like your organization that you work for has it.
Yep.
Any sort of big organization will have an economist that breaks down the budget and says, and scrutinizes.
No, I'm saying the blockchain. Like, we're saying, there's more transparency. But if suddenly you could see all the things that the government's spending on, how often would you read?
If it's important to you. So that's just one example, because we're talking about centralization in the government, but you may want to know, say you're a you're a supplier. No. Let's say you are a business and you are getting resources from some other company. You may want to know where those resources have come from before then. You want to know each step in the business.
Yeah.
So iPhone, they get their shit from China or something. You would be able to see that on the blockchain.
Really?
So you'd be able to see how much they're overcharging you, for example. So it's not the best, I guess, if you're the business, but like from an individual perspective.
Do auditors lose their job now?
That's a good question.
Because auditors are in the financial market is they double check all the transactions to make sure that the company isn't lying about their financial statements. Is it all automatic now? Boom.
So that's the thing. You'd start auditing different things. So I know we have a blockchain team.
They just start buying things in Monero and just
it's all anonymous.
Like, no, I'm just
yeah. It's a complicated rabbit hole. I get what you're saying. I want to change the topic here a little bit. Yeah. So we're talking about crypto quite a bit. Here's a question I want to pose to you guys. It's completely different change here from crypto, but on education, if your degree has the word or the words either physical or gender in it, is it real?
No.
Is it a real degree?
No,
if it
it's not a real
it doesn't
degree
matter
at
what
all.
happens after or before the word. If it has gender or physical, is it a real degree?
I mean, to be honest with you, with the introduction of like transgenderism and like non-binary and stuff,
The introduction
into
of
the
it.
equation.
It was
used this
always a
before?
thing, James.
I don't know that it was. If you go back 1,000 years, I don't know if people are saying, no, I'm a they.
Do animals say, I don't identify as the normal?
I haven't fucking chatted to a squirrel in a while. I don't know.
Isn't it like the clownfish or something can change between guy and girl?
Ooh, can it?
Yeah.
I don't think they... so there are types of frogs and they don't change like just willy-nilly. I think...
They're like, today I'll be a female.
Where does bullshit?
Yeah.
He knows the
No, I
exact
think
time.
because it's actually real. I'm pretty sure they can like, if there's overpopulation of men, they can change into women or something like that in order to like survive. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But like
yeah.
when they do that, they have to change their Instagram bio, right?
But my...
They have to go like, he, him.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
That's just law, you know, it's common sense. But yeah, no, I mean, bro, the more we're going into this, it's probably going to become a studies.
Yeah.
You're gonna need a
That's so
degree in order
sad.
to be able to
The
operate
problem
in
is,
society.
so many people are studying these degrees and it leads nowhere.
Well, this is the thing, because none of us have studied gender studies. What if there's actually a
You
lot of
kind of
science?
did. You did a pseudoscience.
Man did economics.
No, but
It's
here's
not
the
in
question.
the business school, it's in the social science
Yeah,
school.
palm
alright?
reading.
Here's the question. So, do you actually have... Okay, this is my argument for why gender studies might be somewhat real.
Okay.
Because you need someone to actually study if animals do have that trait. Like, you got to do a study that does it. So
That's not what gender studies
I
do.
don't think
That's
gender studies
what
does
it's
that.
like biology.
Gender
does,
studies
like,
is talking about fucking wage gap and shit.
Oh, I see.
It's like sociology. It's studying like us.
What's
Yeah.
sociology?
I think it's a studying of society and people.
What's the difference between that and the one that starts with P? Not philanthropy, not philosophy.
Psychology.
No. It'll come to me later.
Yeah, I'll come to you later.
Yeah, it's a very big word.
Right, sure.
I'm
don't
sure I need to think. I know which word you're talking about. I
Philosophy?
don't know if it starts with a P.
Not
No, it's not
philosophy.
philosophy.
It's like the study of humans,
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
study of society, study of humans, study of.
Oh, there is a big word.
where
Yeah,
humans
yeah.
came from.
All right, let's move on because we're not going to
Yeah.
think about it.
It'll come
Yeah.
to us and
Yeah,
I'll scream.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, people can study what they want. It's more like I don't get them studying that and then complaining about a job because what job were you planning to get in the first place?
Yeah,
I think
I'm-
they're just interested in the topic. They're
Yeah, exactly.
interested in,
That's a big
in
thing.
knowing that dynamic.
No, that's fantastic. You can be interested in a lot of things, but like if you're going to university to try and get a job, why are you spending, especially in America when it's a fucking 100K, you know what I mean, a semester or whatever.
Yeah.
Why are you dropping that amount of money just to not be able to get employed because there's no obvious reason to employ you?
That's the thing. A lot of people aren't going to uni for a job. They're going to uni because it's the next stage of life and they feel they need to.
Well, what advice would you have to someone who
Wait.
doesn't know what they want to do? And they're interested in
Okay,
gender.
so I can't talk because
like
I
they're
did a business degree
Yeah, same.
when I didn't know what to do.
Yeah,
It ended up being the best thing in the world.
Yeah.
I hated it at first because I was studying marketing, changed to finance. Finance opened my brain, became a big part of my life.
What
Now we
advice
day
would you
trade
have?
crypto.
Because there's a lot of young people that listen to podcasts. Mostly
Yeah.
like 15, 20.
So
what advice do you have to them? Like, what
That's
to
the
do with
thing.
rest
I
of your
would
life?
just go in and study a commerce degree, but I don't think that's good advice because if your passion doesn't end up being a business related subject, then what's the point? Maybe a trade is best for you. Like,
I
who
think it
knows?
really depends where you are in the world because there are certain places where the ramifications of studying aren't that bad. So if you're in Australia, you might end with 40K in debt, you know what I mean? Like if you do a longer degree, but you're getting really good rates. You're not with a bank, you're with the government, you know what I mean? There are much more like there are better systems for you to essentially get around it. Whereas in the States, if you go unsure of what you're wanting to be, you might end up with $300,000 in debt with really bad interest rates. And then you're fucked for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
So I completely get what you're saying. Like, I actually think business is quite a good one because even if you want to be a fucking dancer, you can then use that and potentially open your dance studio. And
It's a great skill to have.
That's the thing,
regardless.
though. I actually kind of disagree with that. So I have a controversial opinion here.
Okay.
I somewhat think that degrees aren't needed for any career that isn't, say, engineering or medicine
Soft
or
skill
law.
careers.
Yes.
Soft skill studies. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So me, a person who studies business, anyone can learn business.
Yeah.
You don't actually learn when you study commerce or business how to create a business.
The
You
best
learn how to be an
businessman that I
employee.
know that I've ever met
Yep.
studied engineering.
Exactly.
Electrical engineering he studied, and he knew everything about finance. He understood, like, theoretically how duration would affect he just understood all
Bonds,
the numbers.
yeah.
Huh?
How duration affects bonds.
Yeah, but he understood like a lot of he understand. He just had a really solid understanding of it, and he learned it all through books.
Yeah, exactly.
I agree with what you're saying. The one counteract thing I would push back in. I obviously didn't study business, whereas you guys studied more business things. There are things that you talk about, which just from a technical standpoint, I have no idea what you're talking about.
But that's because you personally haven't studied, but you could easily learn it because in uni you learn the critical thinking in your degree.
I understand what you're saying, but like you also have access to textbooks, which the average person is never going to fucking read because textbooks are so much
That's
more
very true.
complicated than the average person going to read fucking Rich Dad Poor Dad and think they're a genius investor.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it just, I don't think business degrees are useless.
It also depends on the major. I'm going to put that out there because entrepreneurship as a major is a bit how you fucking do it.
To someone. Here's what I think that what people should do. I think this is what society should do, and I want to get your takes on it.
Yes.
I think as soon as you finish high school, the next step shouldn't be straight to uni. I think it should be 2 years of some sort of like a student leaver rotational program where you study, where you actually work and you make a bit of money for 2 years. You maybe every single 6 months you change what you do. So
I love this.
You do a business, you work as a businessman as like an intern or something like that for 6 months. Then you work as an auditor, then you work as a tradesman or you're in the trade for 6 months. Then you just change around until you find something that you like.
What if we did it like the Israelis and you have to do 2 years mandatory IDF service to keep those damn Palestinians down?
No, do you get what I mean by you try something physically? Try and also then you go to university with a bit of cash in your pocket.
I love it. It's also the same thing about doing internships. It's so important so you can actually see what it's like in the actual workforce because it took me 2 years post HSC to find out that I liked finance. So if I went straight in and stayed in marketing or something, it wouldn't have worked out right. So it is really important to have that experience in different fields.
And think about your mindset when it comes to studying. Yeah. If you like what you're doing.
It's so much easier.
If you're listening to the lecture and you're like, fuck, this is pretty interesting shit.
Yeah.
I'm liking this is exactly what I'm interested in. It's suddenly you're watching the lectures, you're listening, you're asking questions, not because you want to get the test right.
Yeah.
But because you actually care about what you're doing.
I'm completely on the
Think about the mindset of that student versus the 19-year-old who went straight from uni to what his dad told him to do, which is business. You jump straight into that and then you're just trying to pass the test.
Yeah. So what we're saying is university's a racket. Fuck that shit. Listen to Gary Vee lectures.
Listen to Gary Vee lectures and
not what I'm saying
at all.
Yeah.
Yo, speaking of another racket, I only just found out recently, right? This is a real racket. And this might hit close to home with one of us.
Oh, God. Here we go. What is this? I don't even know what it's about, but I know it's about me.
I only found out the other day. I was going around, YouTube and like fucking Facebook, Instagram, all this shit, and I kept seeing these 2 words.
Yeah.
Now I knew the words, and I thought they were meant to be said a couple months ago.
Yeah.
These words were Eid Mubarak.
Yeah, Eid Mubarak.
Now I was like, what do you mean Eid's after Ramadan? Like
this too.
That's what I found out. Now, for people who don't know, people call Eid like the Muslim Christmas.
Yeah,
that's how it's always described to me. And I think it's such a fucking racket. I mean, Muslims get 2 Christmases. They get 4 wives. What the fuck else do they get? You know what I mean? These motherfuckers just be having more of everything. They've got 3 cheaters. I saw a Saudi prince the other day. He had 2 Bugattis. Like,
yeah, bro.
What the fuck?
The power of oil.
Bigger is better, dog.
The power of what? Order?
Power of oil.
Oh, oil.
Well, it's you got one that's smaller than the other. Kind of like penis sizes. But essentially the one after Ramadan is a small one. It's more like Easter, right before Lent. And then you have the bigger one, which is like Christmas, which is the one that happened 2 days ago. Huh?
What is Lent?
It's a Christian holiday, so I don't know too much about it.
You're meant to, I think it's Catholic, you're meant to give up something for like 24 hours.
Well, I celebrate Easter, but I definitely don't do that.
It's like
do you
Ramadan
want to
light
clarify,
version.
Chris?
40 days and 40 nights, not 24 hours.
That's housemate Chris.
yeah, he's going to be on the next feature, housemate Chris.
You.
Yeah, awesome character. Can't wait to have him along.
Chris, what do you think of poor people?
Love them. God bless them.
That's a lie. God bless them. Someone's going to build my house.
Yeah, someone's going to put in the hard work.
It's funny because the gain is so low that like who knows what's going to get picked up.
Yeah.
We'll give you a lot of goodness. But yeah, what the fuck's that about? You got 2 Christmases, bruv?
That does sound nice.
Well, I mean, the way I would think about it is that it's like, I don't know, do white people give each other gifts
people?
or do they give each other money?
Gifts.
Gifts. Okay, so our one is not like that. There's no gift giving on Eid.
So it's
always
like
just
Chinese New
money.
Year. You just fucking hand a red envelope.
It's
for
like
money.
the Chinese culture where you give the red envelope, but there's no envelope.
So it's just
Yeah.
money. You don't
So
even
you-
have to buy
so
an envelope. No,
Typically,
sounds
you
good.
get your fourth wife to give you. No, I'm joking. So typically, you have a family gathering, you eat a lot of food, and then at the end of it, it's always supposed to be really like subtle. That's kind of the fun of it. So
Like
like
a
you're-
handshake deal.
Yeah, you
Like the
do one of
Italian
those subtle
mafia, you know?
handshakes. Yeah, you give one of those mafia
come here for a
handshakes.
sec.
Bit of cash in the pocket. Me being the youngest, I always got like fucking $10, while my sister got 200.
Damn.
Really?
Yeah. I remember when she got fat amounts, and you would never know until you chat about it afterwards because it was like you would literally not see each other getting the money.
But it is funny because like inflation when you're older, like that $10 is probably the same as the $200 to her.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like the
$200 is always like,
That $200 is a lot of
yeah,
money.
if your uncle gave you $200, you'd
Yeah,
still be like,
I'd be
"Holy
very
shit,
happy,
thanks, man."
$10 to be honest, I'd probably still be happy, just not quite as much. Not quite as
$10 is like kind of like thanks.
happy. Yeah, I'd be kind of confused. Like, why are you giving me lunch money?
Like I appreciate it, but
I appreciate it, but
can't even buy lunch in Barangaroo with this. Jeez. Aaron, what would you do if Basil dated your sister?
Oh man. The thing is, it's not out of character. That's the issue. So I
What?
have. It's
Yo, that's such a
I'm
completely.
not a
Basic
sister
to do.
fucker. What do you mean?
It's completely. You are a sister.
I mean,
fucker.
according to his porn search, he's a motherfucker. Based on
Yeah.
fucking
Stay away from my mum.
Well, and a sister fucker.
What would you do if he dated your mom?
Is she hot?
No, like I don't know how to answer that question. This conversation,
Imagine if
dude,
it's like,
Milk
yeah.
Bucket Podcast is very weird.
Why?
I'll tell you that
Why is
because
that?
I get asked all these things. I just don't know how to react. What would you do if he fucked your sister? Like, how is there a good way to answer this?
Yeah.
Like, no, the friendship would be over. No, it'd
No,
be
but, like,
okay with it. Why would
okay,
I be okay
so
with it?
in between, like, I'll fight him and I'll high five him after he's done. Where do you range? Like,
I
where
think
on the
me
scale?
and Baz have had enough almost fights that this could probably tip us over the edge.
What?
Yeah.
See, this is the thing because I'm the youngest of the family. I've never understood this because when you come with because both Jamo and Aaron are both the oldest in the family.
Yes.
I don't have that protective mentality. For me, like if you guys just rooted my sisters, I'd be a bit like, okay, come on.
Wait, can we?
Huh?
Is that approval?
I'd be a bit like,
Will we get a high five after?
No.
Depending on our
I'd be like a bit
performance.
like, why the fuck would you do that? But
Would
if
you give us like a?
genuinely,
Would
shut
you
up.
give us like a hard handshake?
If you genuinely liked them, then I would be fine with that because I know you're both stand-up guys. So I'd be completely fine with that. And I'd be happy that I know that my my
But
girlfriend's.
what if we were in the group conversation, right? And like, Aaron's like, yo, I fucked this Asian chick last night. You know what I mean? She loved me. I didn't even say a word to her. She just walked up to me and jumped on my dick. Apparently it was a dare. I don't know. And then I was like, yo, I fucked this chick last night. She was screaming. And then you were like, oh, that's sick. And then you realized it was your sister.
See, that's just the disrespect of
That is so disrespectful.
No, but let's be
the
real.
disrespect of it.
Yeah.
When guys are talking, that could easily slip out without you putting two and two together until it's too late. You'd be like, oh, fuck.
See, the thing is, we don't even talk like that. Like, we're not
Yeah, we
that
don't
descriptive.
really.
Like, girls always think that guys are really descriptive about their sex lives, but I've never had.
You just seem like a bit of a dickhead.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
I think that's an
we're not
American
about
thing.
bragging about sex. Like,
I
it's kind
also
of
think
pathetic.
it's a lot like you look like you're showing off.
Exactly.
And your boys are gonna be like, yeah, all right. Yeah, she sucked your dick till she passed out. Nice
Yeah.
one.
See, Australians have this thing. This is interesting for anyone who's not Australian, and everyone who is Australian will completely relate. We have something called tall poppy syndrome. What that means is that if you make yourself out to be like too big or like, if you're too cocky, it's not a great trait.
If you lose touch with the common man,
Exactly.
some might say.
Yeah. Like, so in American sports interview, you're like, oh, so how did you find your performance? Yeah, I killed it, whatever. But then you see Aussie sports interviews, the exact same question about, oh yeah, it was a team performance, the team did great. We can't really say, we had a great result from the end of it. If it wasn't for that teammate that assisted
humble.
me, exactly. Because of tall poppy syndrome, we don't want people to be cocky.
We definitely have a rooting for the underdog kind of culture in Australia. So like when you see a dude jump up, slam dunk on someone's face and said, fuck you, a lot of the older generation think he's acting like a wanker.
Yeah.
I will say, I think American culture has influenced a lot of the younger generation where like, I'll see that, I'll be like, oh damn, that's sick.
Yeah.
Like Shaq once dunked on a guy, slammed into him and then shoved him over and kind of like looked at him and pointed both fingers and then fucked off. And the guy got so mad he threw the fucking ball and I'm like, yo, that's sick, bro. This guy's mad.
You know Basil
that's
can do that?
Yeah, no, he could dunk really
Yeah.
well.
He broke a backboard once.
Bro, he jumped up and then went through the fucking hoop.
Dude, he jumped over the hoop once.
Yeah.
It just comes down to athleticism, There's people that can and people that can't.
I know. Arabs really known for their jumping ability, aren't they? Fucking hell. They call them the Mario of the East. So we got a few questions. I asked for a Q&A earlier in the week, I think a couple of days ago.
Nice.
Don't worry, if your question's not answered today, we're actually going to do a Q&A video. So we're going to be able to maybe give more context, chuck up the person who asked it, chuck maybe some memes with it, But we'll answer a few today, starting with James Wilson Photography, great guy. He said, if there was no legal or societal repercussions, would you drop kick a screaming baby? Now, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if you guys have been on flights before when babies have cried. I can say yes.
They're the worst.
I would
Even if there is
give
them a
criminal
chokehold, bro. I don't give a fuck.
I'd be curious how far I could kick one, to be honest.
Huh?
I'd be curious how far I could actually kick one. How far do you think you could kick a baby?
How big? What's the weight?
Like just a normal...
A baby? Like
well, that's
newborn?
a big baby that James is putting up with his hands. Like,
No, it's not. That's like a football.
The thing is, I think I'm
Oh,
overestimating.
that is a lot bigger than a football. Okay, no one can
I think
see what
all
we're
of
doing
us
right now.
we're all overestimating the buoyancy and the elasticity of a baby. It's more like kicking a bowling ball.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's heavy.
Nah, because bowling
They're
balls are
heavy,
way
man.
heavy.
They're
No,
heavy.
not, bro. Come
They
on.
are heavy.
Yo, maybe you pussies couldn't kick it far. I could kick that
Bro,
shit
men's weak.
mad far.
The thing is, I would be better if they were standing and then I gave them like one of those. Or-
you're going to wait until they've got to the standing phase.
Yeah,
No, I'll mature it a little bit.
Yeah,
give it
but
a few
I think
months.
at least a solid 10 meters. What do you reckon?
See, first of all, I've got a terrible knee, so I can't kick very far. But assuming my knee was
Left foot.
left foot. Ooh.
Well, you're not going
I'm
to
gonna go like I do. I've got a bad kick. I'm gonna go 5 feet.
bring it into the
I'm very
imperial
underconfident.
system.
It's so much more heavy
You know
than
5 foot is less than you lying down.
yeah. I'm okay. Yeah, but still, I don't know. The thing is, they're heavy.
What the fuck is 5
Dude,
foot?
think about it. They're
You know
heavy.
what's hilarious?
What the fuck?
They're
The
heavy,
The question
man.
wasn't how far can you kick it.
Yeah, but
The question was, would you? We're like, yeah, no, of
we've
course.
clarified we're
obviously
going
kick it.
to. The new question is, how far are we going to do it?
Yeah. I reckon 10 meters is my
I reckon I
solid
could
answer.
get 20. If it was
20?
really loud and there's a little bit of anger.
Oh, that's like the size of a pool in primary school. Yeah, 20 meter pool.
Yeah, 100%.
Damn,
that's
that
fair
is
enough.
far. I think you guys overestimate your kicking ability.
Well,
to
I'm
be
just saying
honest.
10 meters. I'm saying
I mean,
half.
there's only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Let's get a baby.
Any volunteers?
And let's fucking kick it.
Yo, if you've got a baby and you don't like it that much, send it into Milk Bucket headquarters. We'll do some science.
Nice.
We'll have you test. Okay. No, wait. Kaba Giowo.
Great name.
I could just be completely not fucking understanding how to say it, mate. So I'm sorry. What advice would you give for starting a podcast for the first time?
Good question. I would say just start it.
Yeah,
You're gonna
I'm
learn
not
so
gonna
much
lie,
on
I'd
the job.
agree.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times people go on about like, oh yeah, we could do this and we could do that, and they kind of have like big plans and they never end up doing anything. And as a result, nothing happens.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I think like even us, we were doing TikToks before we were doing podcasts, and then one day we're like, should we just do a fucking podcast?
Yeah, just
And
start
we did it.
Just
And
do
it
it.
worked.
And even if you don't have the gear, just like find what's the best value of money you can get for a microphone or whatever.
Go
And just send it.
marketplace.
Yeah.
It's good, good little team. Okay, Ralph H, good old Ralphie. He says, "What does your dream girl look like?"
We'll start with Aaron.
Oh man. So probably under 5'5". She wears blazers.
Oi.
Yeah. Me and Baz both have a thing for
Bro.
girls that wear office wear.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the Rachel Zane look.
Yeah, the Rachel Zane look is good.
Come on.
Oh,
You
color
ever
hair.
watch Suits? Watch Suits.
Yeah, watch Suits. Color hair doesn't matter. Probably a bit tanned. Yeah, that's narrows it down pretty well, I think.
Baz?
Good question. I'm like I don't know. I honestly don't have too much of a type across all different women. I know that I want to marry an Arab because I'm Arab. And
That's
I really
so
like
interesting.
I
I didn't
really
actually know that.
Yeah. So I'd like to marry an Arab, but my past history would say 99% white.
But like, what characteristics are we talking? Like big tits,
Tall.
big ass?
Tall is the main thing for me.
So for you, it would be tall and at least 8 inches, right? It's got to be, right? I mean, we're talking about Basil. You can't talk not about the cock size. Does
Oh,
girth
man.
matter, or is it just length? How does that
so
work?
tall chick, at least over like 5'7", 5'8". I think 5'9" is probably the perfect height. And then, that's where the top of the hill is. And then, when you get
Diminishing
to the
returns.
5'11" is kind of,
See,
shit.
5'9" is what the
Really?
rest of us
Yeah.
call fucking 7-foot player.
Yeah.
So
go
I
grab
always
some
thought the
rebounds.
taller was better for you. So
It
if you
was.
saw a 7-foot girl, I thought that was like your dream.
Well, I've had sex with a 5'11" girl, and that
Yep.
was great. We had a great standing, and like the height issue was never an issue. Like she would wear heels and be the same height as me, and that'd
Yeah,
be completely fine. For perspective, I'm
How?
187 centimeters. Huh?
How?
What do you mean?
5'11".
Yeah.
She's wearing 2-inch heels. She's not wearing big heels.
Like 3-inch heels, yeah. It's like normal, isn't it?
Oh, okay. I thought you were meaning like the proper like going out heels. Like,
Yeah. No, it wasn't like stripper heels.
No, stripper heels are mad high. I'm talking like a 6-inch heel, which is like a cocktail dress. I guess when you wear shoes, you're also taller as well. Isn't it?
Yeah. I've had exes that are 5'9", wear like taller heels and be like the same height, if not a little bit, maybe a bit taller than me. And I didn't mind that at all. Like for me, I
liked fucking resting his shoulder on their shoulder.
The thing is, like, here's a question for because Aaron is 6'3", so he's like, an inch and a bit taller than me. Have you ever felt insecure about your height?
In like, as in I'm too tall?
No, too short.
Have I ever felt I'm too short? No, I have not.
So that's the thing. Like,
Dude, I want to be shorter.
At a certain point, you stop caring. Doesn't matter if a girl's taller.
6
than you.
foot? No, I'd say 6'1" is the perfect height.
For a girl.
Not for a guy. Yeah, definitely not for a girl.
No,
there's anything wrong with
what you're not. Yeah, what you're not getting. It's not that we think that the tall girls are too intimidating. They just get less attractive as they get taller.
Exactly.
Their arms start getting gangly. You know what I mean? They look like spiders, bro.
Yeah, for sure. Dude, Ariana Grande. Oh.
I think here's a fact that I'll have to check, but I think there's a fact that guys are intimidated by tall girls. Intimidated by talking to tall girls. Intimidated like being.
I am definitely. Maybe I wouldn't get in a fight with one because they could beat me up, but I'm not intimidated by the girls I'm
At
trying
the end of the day, they're still a girl. They still want to feel small.
What, girls can't beat up guys? Sexist?
No,
They're not
can.
as strong as men.
No, but the average girl probably just wants to, be with a guy that likes her. Like at the end of the day, they're not thinking about, oh yeah, can I beat the shit out of him?
The thing is,
The
insecurity
average guy
doesn't
isn't
mix
thinking,
with attractiveness.
if push came to shove, could I beat the shit out of a girlfriend?
I saw the fucking funniest TikTok when mate said it to me today. Shout out to you, shitty bro. It was a
Shout out to you, shitty.
Yeah, it was this girl, and she was like pranking my boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
And she goes inside the shower, closes the shower curtains, right? And then he walks into the bathroom a bit later, and like she purposely kind of touches the shower curtain a little bit, and he kind of notices it, and he slowly stands up, slowly moves away, and the caption was like, "We've been training for this our whole life," or something like that.
Yeah.
And then he fucking wails in on the fucking shower curtain. And then he like pulls it aside, sees the girl just crying, holding her. He's like, "Oh baby," and like hugs her, and she's like, "Oh, it really hurts."
Who's the Blade Runner that did that and shot him? Shot his wife or something?
I think he just shot his wife. Bro.
Yeah. No, but it was
Oscar Pistorius or something?
I think it was in the bathroom and he was like through the curtains, something like that. Wasn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's a fucking awkward situation to be in.
Yeah, a little bit awkward.
Man now in jail.
Boom, boom,
For
boom.
manslaughter.
Bro, being in jail in fucking South Africa. He was South African, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't know why I think he is. But anyway,
Yeah.
there's a thing called the numbers gang in South Africa. And they've got this one thing, which is a punishment they do there.
Aaron's just thinking of like a bunch of accountants. The numbers game.
No. And it's not a bunch of Goldbergs and fucking Ugelsteins. No, they what they do, if you like snitch or something, they cut a slit in your asshole and they get a HIV positive male to fuck you.
What?
To essentially forcibly give you HIV.
That's fucked. Next question, bro.
Moving on.
David Mockins says, your preference of alcohol and its brand.
Oh, brand. So I'm
We've talked about beer. What about we talk about liquor?
Well, let's just have we talked about beer? Well, I want to get Aaron's perspective here because he's the guest. What is your like? How would you prefer to start a night?
So I have. It's very controversial because I'm Australian and we have Australian beer that everyone in Australia loves. But I happen to like American beer, mainly
Get off the podcast.
Budweiser. What's your audience? Is your audience American?
It's about 50% Australian, and then the rest of it is varied.
Varied? Okay, well,
No,
the Americans
Australian
out
and the
there.
American are about the same.
Okay.
Okay, well, Americans out there, I love your beer. Don't listen to what every Australian says because it's
Yeah.
actually quite nice.
Okay. Well, okay. Aside from the
He also likes
team,
Hans Super Dry.
Yeah. Yeah. I love Hans Super Dry too, but I'm a massive fan of Aussie beers. VB. Like, I think I want to move to the States. I just want to move outside of Australia for a couple of years.
Baz was literally like thinking, we had a break in the podcast a second ago, and he's like, how much does it cost to get some VB to America? And it's like, $200 US a case.
Here's a legitimate question to our American or outside of Australian viewers. How possible, because we can get your beer easily. Just go across the road, we can get Bud Light, we can get Heineken, we can get any sort of European beer, any sort of popular American beer, we can get it. Can you guys get a VB? Apart from Cooper's, can you guys get, Foster's?
I think they can get it if they go to bottle shops. I don't know if they can get it on tap like at a pub, unless you go to an Australian bar specifically. Because like American stores like fucking Costco and shit like that have so much shit there.
Or would they have VB? Because think about how small Australia is. Like, think about, are they going to have Iceland beers? Are they going to have Ireland beers? Or Guinness? Of course
We're
they'll
a
have
bigger
Guinness.
population than that though.
Huh?
We're a bigger population than that. They will have Guinness, obviously, but like, I think there are certain countries that are known for being beer drinking countries.
So you think that Australia is just known?
Yeah, Australia, Germany.
Yeah. Aside from beer, I'm a big gin drinker. I'm a big vodka drinker. Yeah.
Cruises.
I like
Cruises, yeah,
Henry's.
hell yeah.
I like Henry's gin, and I do like a bit of Patron.
Do you mix them? Or straight?
No, to be honest, I don't think I've mixed Patron once, and I just felt like I was wasting money. You know,
Yeah.
it's like $100 bottle, and my parents
mixing Patron is kind of like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah, I usually but the thing is, shooting Patron is also the same thing to some people. Like, but I would still shot it rather than sip it. You know.
Yeah, absolutely.
But no, I love Henry's for a good G&T.
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
Yeah. Okay, next question from Sen Thav. Shout out to the Critical Banter lads. They've got a great podcast. Go fucking check them out as well.
Absolutely. Critical Banter on
with
YouTube.
Jack Post. Yeah.
Yep.
He asks, should shoes be worn in the house?
Yes.
Absolutely. See, this is the thing. I come from a culture where, this is very different to white people. The culture is the guest comes first. You let the guest, the whole idea is that the experience of inviting your friend is about hosting and about letting them come in. They come in, you offer them a drink, you offer them food. They shouldn't have to, difficult themselves. Versus a lot of people have the culture where it's my house, my rules. It's my house, my rules. If I tell you shoes off, shoes off.
Yeah, it ruins the vibe.
That's completely different. No, the whole idea is if you invite someone over, you're inviting an invitation, they should be able to let themselves feel like it's home. Whatever they want to do. If they want to take their shoes off, if they want to have their shoes on, you don't difficult them. Just because you want to, save up a bit of cleaning.
Do you know what's funny though? So I know Sen Sri Lankan. So I don't know how that translates, but I know that there's a girl, we've got a housemate who's Chinese, and she told me that they don't wear shoes in the house; they wear these slippers.
Yeah, house shoes.
Yeah, exactly. And what I kind of realized, because I agree with you, like whenever I go to someone's house, it's kind of a sack taking on and off shoes and stuff like that. But when I'm at home, I don't wear specific slippers, but I always just wear slides.
Yeah.
I will never have shoes on ever. And I don't think it's a conscious thing like, oh, I'm scared of dirtying the house. But I do kind of always just have slides on, which is kind of like following the Chinese tradition.
Good point. Good point.
Yeah. Look, in terms of efficiency, it makes sense. I totally understand it. I just think it's rude to your
I mean,
guests
it's not
to ask
efficient when guests come over.
Well, it's just rude. I think, imagine if I told you guys all to take off your shoes. Imagine if we had a party and it's just a fucking bunch of shoes.
I mean,
what the fuck is that?
I do it. I just feel kind of uncomfortable.
Yeah, exactly.
Just ruins the vibe.
That's not the type of vibe I want to have.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah. All right, boys. We've had a couple of questions there. Bit of time with Aaron. I think we're going to wrap it up around now because he has to kind of get going at this stage. He's got a commitment after this. But essentially, I wanted to thank Aaron for coming on the podcast and
Thanks
really
so much,
appreciate
mate.
you guys coming.
Thanks
on.
for having me.
We've had this in our heads since like episode 4 or 5.
Since the beginning.
Since the
OG.
beginning.
I was around since the beginning of Milk Bucket.
Literally, yeah.
Milk Bucket consultant.
Make sure to fill out the Yelp review when you leave.
I will. 5-star review, guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll wrap it up there, boys. I'll let James conclude because he knows how to tell everyone to do the reviews and whatnot. But
anyway, make sure you go hit up the TikTok, hit up the Instagram. All the links will be down below. Aaron's YouTube channel, Hey I'm Aaron, will also be linked down below. Make sure to go there, give him some love. If you want 10% off amazing phone case, hit our link down below and go to @PuppyThis. You'll get an amazing phone case. Support the local Aussies. New videos. We had the porn star one come out a couple of days ago. We should have a new one out this week as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Keep your eyes on the Milk Bucket page.
What's the secret word for this episode? That's the question everyone's asking.
Hey, I'm Aaron.
Oh, God.
I like that.
Spotlight is on, boys.
Find a way to put Hey I'm Aaron into a comment.
Or we can say crypto expert.
All right, boys. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you so much. Oh, yeah. Make sure to like and subscribe to it and give us a 5-star review on Apple and Google Podcasts. It helps us out so much.
Yeah.
We saw we got another 5-star review the other day, which is pretty sick.
Yeah,
so.
and
You know what you
hilarious.
should do? You should start reading out the reviews.
We
that'd
really
be
should.
sick.
I
think that's a good idea for the
100.
podcast.
I think the guy was called Papa Roach, like the singer.
Yeah.
yeah.
I remember Papa Roach. Do you reckon it's the actual Papa Roach?
Yeah, it probably is. Who else would it be?
Anyway, thank you so much, boys. Like every time, we'll see you next week.
Absolutely.
Fucking, let's get it.
Cheers, boys.
See ya.